Good morning, children. I believe that you and your family are safe during this lockdown period. Children, we have already finished the first chapter of geography, and in today's session, we are going to begin with civics. In your previous classes, you all have studied about our rights and duties. But do you know who gives us these rights and duties? Yes, it is the Indian Constitution. Why does a country need a constitution? How and when was it formed? And what are its key features? So today we are going to discuss all these things in the first chapter of civics, that is our constitution. The preamble serves as an introduction to the Constitution. It secures justice, liberty, equality to all the citizens of India and promotes fraternity among the people. The preamble states, "We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunities, and to promote among them all fraternity, ensuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation." In our Constituent Assembly this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. What you just had is the preamble of the Constitution of India. To understand the preamble, we need to first understand what a constitution is. Firstly, a constitution is a list of the principles that all the persons in a country can agree upon as the basis of the way in which they want the country to be governed. Almost all the countries in the world have constitution. Nepal is actually in the process of rewriting its constitution. Let's take a closer look. Nepal used to a monarchy as per the earlier constitution adopted by Nepal in 1990. It reflected the final authority of the king. But the people of the Nepal were not happy and they started revolting. Finally, in 2006, the monarchy was abolished and the Nepal became a democracy. To reflect this, it started the process of writing a new constitution for the country. India too is a democracy, and this fact is included in our constitution as well. So another important function of the constitution is to define the nature of a country's polity. It means in a democracy, leaders exercise their power responsibly on the behalf of the people. It defines country's political system. During the process of gaining independence from British, the Indian national movement had been active in the struggle for independence from the British rule for several decades. Nationalists devoted a great deal of time to imagining and planning what a free India would be like. When the constitution was being written, India was going through a turmoil because of partition of India and Pakistan. Did you know? The Constitution of India was decided by the team of 300 people under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It took 3 years to write and finally came into force on 26 January 1950 as the Republic Day of India. As we already know that the Constitution guarantees the right to equality to all the citizens and says that no citizen can be discriminated on the basis of religion, caste, gender, race, etc. In a democratic societies, the Constitution lays down the rules that guard against the misuse of authority by the political leaders. It lays certain important guidelines that govern decision-making process. A constitution plays an important function in democracy to ensure that a dominant group does not use its power against any person, group, or organization. Constitution prevent domination by the majority on a minority. The third function of our constitution is to protect us from ourselves. I know this might sound confusing. What it means is that it acts as a guideline to ensure that we would not take any harsh or hasty decisions based on public emotions. So, what are the features of Indian Constitution? There are 5 features of our Indian Constitution: federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. Let's understand these in detail. First is federalism. It refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. These are at the state level, at the central level, and the local state government, or we can use to say Panchayati Raj. Citizens are governed by laws and policies made by each of these levels of government. Second is parliamentary form of government. What this means that the people of India elect their representative to lead the country. The Constitution of India guarantees universal adult franchise for all citizens. This means every citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, have a direct role in electing their representatives. Representatives are thus accountable to the people in a parliamentary form of government. Third is separation of powers. As per our constitution, there are 3 organs of the state: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The legislature refers to our elected representative and those who make laws. The executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. The judiciary refers to the system of the court in the country who settles disputes and makes sure that laws are obeyed. Each organ acts as a check on the other organ of the state, and this ensures the balance of the power between all 3. The fourth feature is the fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are referred to as the consciences of the Indian Constitution. Fundamental rights protect citizens against the absolute exercise of power by the state. The Constitution guarantees the rights of individuals against the state as well as against other individuals. There are 6 fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution, which are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to freedom of religion, and right to constitution remedies. In addition to the fundamental rights, the Constitution has a section called Directive Principles of State Policy. It aimed to create social and economic conditions under which the citizens can lead a good life. Let's break up this phrase to understand this. Directive, it means something which provides us with some guidance. Principle, as we all know, are the ethics set by us which serve as a fundamental rule. State refers to an area having its own government. Policy refers to a proposed course of action to complete the objective. And to sum up all, it refers to those principles which should be kept in mind by the state while formulating policies. The last feature is secularism. A secular state is one in which the state does not officially promote any one religion as the state religion. Secularism in India thus does not mean the separation of religion from state. Instead, secularism in India means a state that supports or participates in a neutral manner in the affairs of all the religious groups. Children, you must have noticed that the word state is often used in this chapter. This does not refer to government. There is a difference between state and government. The government is only an element of the state. A state has four essential elements: population, territory, government, and sovereignty. Government is only one element of the state. It means it is just one part of the state which acts for the state. The Constitution plays a crucial role in laying out the ideals that we would like all the citizens of the country to adhere to, including the representatives that we elect to rule us. Constitution has been changed over the years to reflect new concerns of the polity that involves a change in the fundamental nature of the country. With this, we have finished the chapter. Just stay home and stay safe. God bless you all.